Hello and welcome to another Cedar Creek Motorsports overview. This time we're going to be getting through this brand new 2025 Polaris Indy XCR 650 Patriot 136 with Ride Command 7S display. Let's get to it. This 2025 Polaris Indy XCR utilizes their current generation 650 Patriot engine, which is a 650cc parallel twin two-stroke liquid-cooled engine that's going to be making around 130 horsepower. What is really awesome that Polaris did with the new 650 Patriot is making it a lot more fuel efficient. So it's going to be around 40% more fuel efficient than the previous Liberty 600, while also being 10% more efficient on oil consumption, which is really awesome with these two-stroke sleds. You're no longer burning a ton of oil. They're really getting that in control to help make the environmental protection agencies a lot happier with snowmobiling as a whole. So we get to keep our two-stroke engines. This particular one's also going to be putting all that power through their P85 LWT clutch that's going to be very lightweight and very responsive. It has been calibrated specifically to the 650 Patriot's torque curve, since it is a lot more grunty of an engine than the previous 600 that like to rev out a lot more. This gives you a lot more usable power down low when you're riding out on the trails. What really helps you keep this sled in control is going to be their Matrix independent front suspension that's giving you 9.3 inches of suspension travel, utilizing these Walker Evans Racing Velocity 2-inch shocks. What's really awesome with these particular shocks is they give you high and low speed compression adjustment. So you'll notice right here you have that red knob and then you have the black knob inside. You can control the compression dampening for hitting bumps, or if you're under braking, you can have it dampen differently to help you maintain control of the sled in all situations. As well as if you're trying to race your buddies around the local trail, that's going to help you cut off those tenths of a second to make sure that you're able to fly by them in those woods sections. While we're down here at the front, Polaris does also give you their Pro Steer skis that are going to utilize 8-inch carbides from factory. There's a lot of other options for carbides you can throw on there. Call our parts department, they got all the awesome information. So that's how Polaris helps the front of the sled maintain control. Then over at the rear, Polaris helps you by adding a 15 by 136 by 1.35 Cobra non-studded track that's going to give you plenty of traction on and off trail. So if you decide to hop off trail, go exploring a little bit, you're going to have plenty of traction to keep moving through any kind of fresh powder that you might get into. Suspending the track is going to be Polaris's Pro CC rear suspension system that gives you 16.2 inches of suspension travel, while also utilizing the same Walker Evans Racing Velocity 2-inch shocks that are still giving you the high and low speed compression adjustment for both the center shock and the rear shock, as well as giving you preload adjustments front and rear. It's really helpful that Polaris is giving you all of those adjustable features, and a really handy thing that Polaris has been adding to all of their snowmobiles now are their SAE ports. So if we take a look right here under this rubber cover, that's where we have our battery tender plug right there. So you don't have to add on any kind of pigtail. You don't have to physically get the battery out to charge it. You can just plug your battery tender in right there. Really nice thing that Polaris has done with their new generation snowmobiles. Another useful piece that Polaris packed into this snowmobile is going to be the backup pull start. So this snowmobile is equipped from factory with an electric starter, but just in case you ever run low on battery, maybe it's getting hard to start, maybe it's sat for a while, they did give you that backup pull starter, which is very handy because this sled does have their 7S display powered by Ride Command. So there's a lot of cool functionality into this display. We do have a whole tutorial that I'll leave a link to here if you want to go check it out. It goes fully in depth with the Polaris 7S display. But let's say you're sitting there in the maps trying to set your route, you run that battery low. You don't have to worry about not being able to use the electric start because Polaris did give you that pull start backup, which is a really handy feature on any trail snowmobile. Another extremely useful feature that Polaris is putting on their snowmobiles is their lock and ride flex system. So that's their method of attaching any kind of accessory cargo bag to the rear of the snowmobile, utilizing these little slots in the tunnel. You'll see those enlarged sections that help you get the fasteners inside. They have a ton of different bags, from small to large ones that you can put on the back there. Very similar to Ski-Doo's Link Q system. And there's a ton of other accessories that Polaris makes for their snowmobiles as well. Like if we take a look at these factory installed handguards, they do make some awesome LED lights that you can put on there to just make the sled look a whole lot cooler when it's traveling down the trail at night. And there's some other awesome LEDs that you can put on the hoods of these. There's other floodlights that you can add on. There's a ton of awesome stuff to do to these snowmobiles. So stop on in at Cedar Creek Motorsports or give us a call at 262-377-5700. Thanks for watching. Let's get riding.